So good afternoon, everybody, and good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to today's Thursday's live at Inside Health Apps. And I am Denise Armenio, a certified emotion code, body code, and genius biofeedback practitioner. And I'm honored to be here with everybody to help teach you a little bit about the genius and also to run a demonstration scan. I have with me Claire McIntyre, who is also assisting me and will be on chat to help. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. And we have a very, very special guest today. We have a furry friend, so something new. I'm going to let in. 1 second, where are you? Or maybe so Pam is gonna come on. Can you hear me, Pam? Or can you talk? Where are you, Pam?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, there you are. So welcome. Do you have your video? Can you turn your video on?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, hello. And
Hello.
Here is Connie. Let me get Connie situated. Hold on. Connie, where are you? Do you see her?
I'll just let her in.
I did let her in.
Do you want to see Olive?
Yes, please, if you can.
Yeah, she's actually, I can, but I don't know, can I take a picture and send it to you? But I've already
have the
done that.
picture. I've loaded her information already, and you can see it's loaded in here already. So
I don't know if I can.
you're
She's
good.
laying.
Yeah. Aw. Hi, Olive. Anyway, that's just so everybody can see, but that's who our special guest is today. And Pam, why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on with Olive, and then we can get started here.
Okay, so about 3 days back, 4 days back, she got some tooth infection, and it became really swollen over there. And then yesterday, as we were, we tried to go to the doctor, but they don't have any appointment until the end of the month. So we asked the emergency people, and they said, no, we don't deal with dental issues. So yesterday we took her out to do her business, and somehow, a leaf brushed that area where she has on the right side tooth, and it got cut, and there was so much bleeding that she was dripping blood all over. And then I tried to run some frequencies on her that stopped it, and she could eat a little bit. But then again this morning she barked at some dog, and it started to bleed again. And I haven't done anything because I thought you'll be running her, but I think I wrote to you, I have a library for healing wounds. And then I made a library for her for dental antibiotics for her. So I'm making the water with that. Maybe she'll drink some water, because she has not been able to drink any water or anything at all since the morning.
Okay, well, to me, that's the primary thing, is that we get her to be able to drink. Maybe running the frequencies will help facilitate that, just because maybe they'll make her thirsty. So hopefully, with that said, let's get started. I would say, obviously you can't feel her, but you'll be able to see if she starts moving around a little bit. Is she lethargic now? She's just laying there. She's not really moving much.
She's just laying there because she's in so much pain. When I ran the frequencies for her yesterday, at least she got up and she ate, but with this bleeding this morning again, she's not been able to drink or eat anything at all, not even the softest things. But and as I said, that she has been making that sound like she's not able to breathe deep every occasionally, but since she's in pain, she's, she's not gotten up or anything. So I couldn't take a voice for that. And she was also sneezing a lot.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get started to run
Okay.
this. Maybe when you just want to put the microphone next to her when it's time to give a voice recording, and we'll just try to get whatever sound there is there around her, but it'll be fine. I have her picture, so I'm just gonna get started here.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. So do you want to put your microphone by her now? Just tell me when it's ready and I'll start running the record.
Let's see. Right now, she's just very quiet, actually. So,
Okay, but I want to get, more of her like body noises than your breathing. Okay, I'm going to start recording.
Olive, it's okay. It's okay, baby. Come on. It's okay. Can you bark?
Okay, so I have that. I do have you talking a little bit in it, but I'm sure it's going to be okay because the
Sorry
intention
about that.
is for her. I'm just going to hit, I guess I could run the voice harmonics. I'm just going to do that right now. For any of you that are just joining us, I am working on Pam Kapoor's dog, well, actually her son's dog, who seems to be ill. So we have a little different volunteer today. Okay, so now I'm going to hit next. Is the sound okay for everybody? And we're going to hit continue. And there's poor little Olive and the scratch by her face. So I'm going to hit begin analysis. Okay, and we're going to continue. And yes, I'm going to leave an affirmation. And sorry, my typing is going to be slow in here. Energies are transmuted into the frequency of love. I am filled with pure love and light and gratitude. And so it is. Okay.
Denise, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Would you be working with her infection too, the tooth infection?
The tooth infection, I'm going to try. Sure.
Okay.
First thing I want to just see if we can get maybe like her vitals up, but that might be part of it. So let's just, so the first thing I need to add the libraries to her. So I'm going to add to client, select all. And I'm going to go to master branch and add to client, select all. And for all of you that have just purchased the bioterrain master branch, you also have to go into shared and hit add to client if you want them to go over. So you have to go into both the created and the shared, or you don't have to go into created if you don't have any, but if it's only shared, because otherwise you won't see anything there. So just a little info for you guys. Okay, so now I'm going to begin analysis. And let's get an aura picture. Okay. It looks very, I don't know how you guys are seeing it on my iPad screen. It doesn't look as dark as it looks on my iPad, but it is like an orangey color, but it
Where?
has a lot of black coloring to it on my laptop, which I think is where you're viewing it. So just to let you know, I did screenshot that. Okay. So just to recap a little bit, the Genius works on a number system, a value system, and that range goes from 0 to 777. 0 to 777 is broken down into 4 different colors. Blue represents the range from 0 to 100, and blue is observed to be chronic energetic disturbances, also under energy. So those items may not be getting enough energy, which is what's causing them to be out of balance. It's also observed to be stagnant energy. We then go from 101 to 450, which is represented by the color green. Then from 451 to 688 is the color yellow. And then the color red is represented, 689 to 777 is represented by the color red. And these would be energetic disturbances that are happening now. They're more current in the present time. It's observed to be more of an over energy. So they're getting maybe too much energy. And in Chinese medicine, sometimes that's referred to as heat or inflammation. When you work with the quick balance, which is down at the bottom, you can see that red banner. Anything that is on that screen, a quick balance will run. It says the highs and the lows, but the highs and the lows are also represented by red and blue. So those are the frequencies that would be run when you hit quick balance. Then we have 2 other choices to use quick zap and the main hold tray. I mainly will use the main hold tray and drag and drop my items into there. The main hold tray view, when it runs the frequencies, looks at all the items in relationship to each other. So sometimes things that may look red now or blue that you would think would be a priority item when you get into the main hold tray may not be a high priority item. And because of this, often we will add the 600 and above and 200 and below to the main hold tray, or at least on areas where we want to focus our attention. So you've heard us often talking about the bioterrain and how we work with it. I'm not going to get in. I don't know. It depends when we get there, but I probably won't go into the bioterrain too much, but I do want to run the primer. If library, just to run all those main frequencies and just to give a good foundation start. So let this just finish analyzing here for a minute. Oh, thank you, Wendy. I'm just seeing your comment, muddy orange green. Yeah, it's kind of like what it looked like here. I just think it looked a little gingier, how you guys are seeing it. Okay, so now I'm going to look for the bioterrain. And so I'm going to add all these items to main hold tray. It's looking a little different here. Okay, so now I have all those items in the main hold tray, and I'm going to run all of those. I'm going to run them for 3 minutes. I have to do the analysis first on that. Vitamin C is coming up first, lung meridian. We have theta. Just going to run all of them. And let's see. That's too loud. Usually pets respond pretty quickly, usually. So hopefully we can get some good results here for Olive today. Pam, I would make sure you have water nearby for her so that she doesn't have to go far to look for it.
Okay, I will do that. Pretty close, but I'll put it right by her. Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions while this is running?
There's one there from Melissa.
Oh,
Well,
yeah, that's not such a short answer though, a quick answer though, Melissa. So if I have time later or maybe you want to call and something up with that at a different time to talk about that. It's just not something that it's going to be quick to talk about on this demo.
another time.
But I do use muscle testing occasionally, not all the time, not as much as when I use emotion code and body code, but a lot of times I'll use muscle testing to test how long I should run the frequencies for, if that helps, Melissa. It's kind of like you have to go with your intuition versus muscle testing. But for some reason, I'm guided more with my intuition, so I just go with that. And there are some emotion code libraries, so I don't know if you have those, but you can also muscle test your way through those, or even in some of the libraries that you do have, you can muscle test if there are a lot, which is the priority one for you to use. But again, I don't really use my muscle testing that way with the Genius because the Genius has its own intelligence. So I'm really trying to trust the intelligence of the Genius when I'm. Well, 22%. Okay. I'm going to rescan this and just run the highs for a minute and see if that helps. Poor thing. Our furry friends, they're such a big part of our families. It's so hard when we see them. Pam, when was the last time she drank water?
I guess last night.
Yeah, I would watch that because if she doesn't start drinking water soon, I would you don't want her to dehydrate.
Oh,
I mean, I love the
can't-
Genius, but we're not here to replace medical doctors. So
Oh, I know, I understand it.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, we're happy to help. And I just, worry. I don't want, and this went up to 56%. So that's awesome. So now I'm just going to go back to the main page. I'm going to clear out the main hold tray, and I'm going to go to the system overview before we even start looking at anything. And I'm going to run an analysis on here. And so here we see lysine, pesticides, which that's really quite common to see since she's a dog on the grass. Glutamate, sage. We can just look quickly what's on the bottom, and we have nogies. Does anybody in your family smoke, or is she around anyone that smokes?
No, not at all.
We see the lymphatic system. Hold on, I need to.
Yesterday, when I ran the bioterrain, there was so much fungus. Everything in fungus was coming up.
Okay, I'm just gonna run. Actually, let's add the reds and the blues to the main hold tray and see what we get there. It may give us a little bit more information. So we see glands, organs. I'm just gonna run all again on here for her. Because again, sometimes it's these things that items that you may not think are connected to what the issue is, and they may be very connected. So yes, Deb, thank you. I see that she's making some comments here. As I have some hydration libraries that I'm going to be running on her, so I just wanted to get through some of these main beginning steps before I go there. But thank you. That's a great suggestion, using the electrolytes. Okay, great. So that's 54% there. I'm going to run a rescan and see. We might just run the highs for a minute here as well. Juniper berry, inflammation does show up there. Fear, which is interesting, close to the butt. Well, it's not interesting, but she's probably scared. So
She was
making any
adopted.
movement at all?
When I brought the water close to her, but she's not. She didn't drink or anything. But she's always been a very scared dog because she was adopted.
Yeah, you know what, Pam, as soon as this stops, maybe you can tell us, because I'm having a hard time hearing you when the frequencies are running. Okay, so what did you say? I'm sorry.
No, fear sounds okay, absolutely right, because she's always been very, very fearful and anxious dog because she was adopted from a shelter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I guess that's hysteria in there too, is showing up, the fear and hysteria.
Right, right.
Okay, well, I'm going to now go back to the main page here. I'm going to clear out this main hold tray again. So now I just want to look, I'm going to add in from the Saveggio tones and just make sure that we have 528 down here below. And these few, where's the flower of life? Sacred geometries, just so that they are running in here. And I want to look at emotions for her. Let's put in the reds and the blues. And then today's stress. So we see connective tissue, kidneys, inflammation, liver. I'm going to add those, as well as add the acid, infection, bacteria. I'll add the fungus since you brought it up. And then lymphatic, immune, environmental, brain. So let's see what's showing when we get to infection energetics. So parasites and mold is showing. I added those.
Denise, can I ask you a question?
Sure. Can you turn your volume up a little bit? I don't know if I'm the only one that's having a hard time hearing you.
Can you please add heart also, because she's always had arrhythmia?
I will try. I want to get to the main things with her cut and her tooth first.
Okay.
So I don't know, how much time we'll have for that, but I certainly will if we have time for it.
Okay, thank you. Thanks.
You're welcome. Her organs, so skin is showing up here. I'm just going to add the blue ones here. And I can just add heart since you mentioned it. And digestion, let's add her everything for her digestion. Okay, so from here, I want to go to libraries because I do want to look at her hydration. So let's look at, I'm going to add all of these. So we're going to put the yellows and the greens and the blues in. So it looks like her hydration, assimilation, and water absorption haven't been great. And we have the electrolyte utilization in there as well. So that's good. And these are just hydration, some affirmations for it. And I'm going to add the 600 and above because right now, I know that she has a lot going on, but if she doesn't start drinking, nothing else is going to, work as well. So she says, my heart is fully hydrated. So maybe she's not getting hydration to her heart, or from being a rescue, her heart spiritually is wounded, is how I would look at that. Hydration 3, her energies, her respiratory, her joints. I enjoy drinking water. I hope she does and will. Her nervous system. And my cells are fully hydrated. And these are different muscles that need hydration. So I'm just adding these in. I just want to try to cover all our bases and try to getting her body hydrated. Okay. And Deb, I think this is yours. You use this. So we're going to get this into her little furry body. Okay, so now that we have hydration, let's look at I want to add pain in there for her because I'm just adding the reds and the blues here. There are a lot, but I just want to make sure that we can make her comfortable. Now let's see, dental. I don't know that they're going to match up the same way as adult teeth, but and hydration is showing up here as well. So And here we have where there's fungus and some other interesting stuff showing up. I'm just going to add everything in here. Here would be some solutions that I'm adding. Again, if these are not good for furry friends, she's only going to take in what she needs. And we can look at bioterrain in here and see what shows up. So here are those fungus statements you were looking at. I'm going to add the sounds and colors in here for her. And then I'm just going to do the 200 and below and 600 and above. And where are those? We're already at a lot of items in here. I'm looking for those. Deb, what were those ones that were showing up? The Spricket.
Spirocate.
Yeah, thank you. I'm just looking for them in here.
Technically, I believe it's under the family of bacteria, as in syphilis, and sometimes it is on this parasite thing, but it might be. See, sometimes if you look at the biofilm, it'll tell you which ones are on top. That's not a bad idea. If you don't know where to go, just ask the biofilm. See that?
Dental plaque.
Yeah.
Good call.
And if you have anything that says an abscess, such as a root abscess or root canal, which was very low on the score here, you might want to think of anaerobic bacteria, which would be things like amoeba or streptococcus, and protozoas of the gums are very troublesome. Clostridia perfringens. But the bottom line is, if you're this deep into it, there's the spirochete panel there.
Where do you see it?
I saw above that, right in there under protozoa up higher. I see a few spirochetes in there, did I not? Treponema falciparum is the syphilis spirochete. So
is it yellow? What color is it? I'm not seeing.
In general, guys, if you don't know the names of these things, I would stick with the top and the bottom, because these are the ones that are the most drastically in the ditch. And then as they get less and less, you may squeeze to the edges some of the other. Yeah,
and we're getting high in the tray here, so.
Yeah, and exactly. And you have a very sick animal who's dehydrated, so they may not want to precipitate a Herxheimer reaction. Notice the drug of a sulfur drug at the bottom there is the drug for almost every infection known to man. So that's what doctors and veterinarians give to almost all infections. So that's something that you might want to just notice. If they're craving it, give it to them.
So we could just look at the Schuster salt. So
those are great. I give them all. There's the IV bag in a nutshell right there, folks.
Oh, there's zinc in here, right? Or was it zinc? Oh no, that's zinc chloride. Okay, I'm going to stop at the blue just because we have a lot in here. So I'm going to begin analysis. Parasite, the one did come up. I'm going to hit all. I'm going to just do 1 minute for her right now. Hydration assimilation is on top. So a lot of these, it's picking up for sure that she's dehydrated, because these are all hydration ones that are showing high here. Seeing dental issues in there. Lisa's saying that she, when her pets are sick, she puts down some colloidal silver, and they will often drink that even when they won't drink water. It's like they know they need it. Oh, great suggestion, Lisa. So Pam, I don't know if you have that. The scan, it's at 29% rectification. I'm gonna rescan it and run this again. And hit all for 1 minute. So up top comes cavitations. So it is pointing. Is she moving? Anything going on there with her, Pam?
She just changed her position, but she's not moving.
You'll have to definitely keep us updated though, as how she is doing.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, and now I'm gonna rescan, and then I'll just hit the highs for 3 minutes. And then we see that P. vivax and the streptococcus parasite. Again, cavitations for dental issues showing up, dental plaque with some biofilm. Cavitations again. Root canal toxic. Could she also, was she not feeling well when your son left, or
No, she was fine. She was absolutely fine. She actually got a cut around her eye one time about 2 or 3 weeks back, and that became okay. We took her to the vet, and the vet said there's nothing. It's okay. It's just because of the cut, because that area was swollen again. The one that is swollen now, but he said there's no infection, tooth infection or anything. But this time it ended up being that.
hopefully this will, working with the hydration, maybe help to get things going. I'm going to drink some in water for intention. Maybe it will help her. I have seen the Genius work really well with pets, so for anybody with pets out there, definitely don't forget about them when using the Genius. I've seen some pretty wonderful things.
Yeah, I just mentioned that cats get a lot of candida, which leads to feline leukemia. In many, many cats, it can be very easily reversed if you keep your eyes peeled for candida in cats. And secondly, cats get toxoplasmosis sometimes, or strange viruses, because they might eat a mouse. So you might see them getting like Yersinia plague or something because the cat ate a mouse that had another spider in it that was infected with rickettsia. So don't be alarmed if you see some strange things. It's their body, telling the truth, even if you don't know how to explain it just at that minute.
Right. I'm thinking I want to add just something to get
That last page, the remedy for all dental issues is Calfleur. In the previous one that you just were on, the homeopathy,
okay.
Calfleur is the one that stops dental cavities in their tracks.
Okay, I'll go back and get that. I just want to add these essences that are for animals in here and see if that may give her a little pick me up.
Cat cocktails.
Oh, Lisa, well, Lisa, sorry to hear that Olive is not feeling well, but she's happy that we're actually working on a pet. So I'm glad that everything works out the way it should. So anybody ever wants to bring their pets on again, I'm always happy to work with them. Okay, Linda, I'm not exactly sure what that is. Linda says, how can I help my 12-year-old? Let me pause that just a second. So we're getting a low rectification. So let's just go. Did you want me to go back to the, was this the Schuster salt in the, in here, Deb, that you were asking about, or you wanted me to go back to that library?
Well, if anybody's very listless and they're so dry, then nothing will get done till the water is moving. So when you go back to electrolytes or oxygen stimulation or hydrogen, oxygen and salt and Schuster salts, that does act like an IV bag into the body. The only time
That's
that's
what I'm
not so
saying.
helpful,
It didn't go.
if you use all the Schuster salts there,
You want me to put even the yellow ones in, all of them?
well, it can't hurt because the body's just made of that soup. So it's not going to harm anything, and it might just revive the engine to get the enzymes working again.
Okay.
When you buy those in the store with all of them together in one bottle, it's called diatomite, as in diatomaceous earth. Magnesium will help anything there for oxygen at the top. Oxy powder, anything that says oxygen should be your number one remedy with anybody's very sluggish. But oxygen has to be stored onto minerals to move it around. So you can see how no two clients or animals are alike.
Well, that's for sure. Yeah, there's always something you can never, because anything can cause anything. So even if you're looking at two that both have dental infections, just what needs to be treated could be very different. But anyway, getting back to Linda here. So your 12-year-old granddaughter who has Ewing sarcoma, how can you help her with the genius? Well, number one, I personally would treat symptoms, regardless of what the name of it is. I would go after the symptoms, and I would do a lot of what we're doing, not necessarily with Olive right now, but just go back to the basics. So I hope that helped a little bit, Linda. And Pam, can you, Deb, can you put the name in the chat that you were talking about just now?
The name of,
Yeah, Pam, I'm not sure what.
sorry, I lost the track of what question to which name of what.
Are you talking about the salts?
Oh, the Schuster tissue salts. Oh,
Yeah, I think you said a different one, which is like
salts. There's salt 1 to like 12 in one combination called diatomite.
Yeah, I think that's the one that she was looking for.
Diatomite, which is like diatomaceous earth, if you will.
So the two salts have shown up right at the top, the nat phos and the kali iodine, potassium iodine, and sodium phosphate. And then there's the combination of calcium, what is it, calc fluor, calc phos, what is it, iron, phosphorus, silica, and magnesium phosphate. Potassium chloride is showing up in there, magnesium phosphate, so.
You have to ask yourself, is that person losing those salts, or is there a parasite stealing those salts?
Well, there may be multiple things going on here right now, so I'm sure, there's probably, right, there were all those reds for all those different parasites, so we know that there's something that's in there.
Is the schussler tissue salt, according to one of our questioners from Jay Ohm, she wants to know, is the schussler tissue salt in the basic package, or you have to import that library?
So a minute left. Any kind of movement or anything yet? Pam?
She's sleeping right now.
After this, I'm just going to, hopefully she'll have a good rectification here, and then we'll look at her aura and maybe start just running some of the gemstones. So 27%, let's just rescan that. So fungus is showing up on top. I just want to go and look and see how her aura looks, just to get a sense of how she's doing.
So Denise, as I kind of patted her, and when I came to her, the lumbar area, it felt that she's not comfortable with my touch over there. I
Yeah,
don't know.
well, I am not a doctor nor a veterinarian, so I mean,
I don't know. I understand.
you may need to, get her into the ER. I mean, we're just trying to see if we could help get her comfortable, but
Right.
I wouldn't, they need to get some.
It did say that her number one item emotionally was affection, so she may need to be petted, but she may be feeling so awful she doesn't like to be touched. Or she could have fallen and hurt herself, and when you touch her, she doesn't want to be touched. So, I had that happen to a dog this morning who was letting me pet him, but as soon as I touched the back, yelped like crazy to indicate there was an injury there. So a sudden shock in an animal that is normally up and about is suddenly down on the couch. It's got to be either an injury or an infection that's coming on rapidly.
Right.
Or separation anxiety.
Well, that's why I was asking before when she really started getting sick, because you're watching your son's dog, so it may not be helping.
Well, she actually,
Yeah,
she's
I
been,
agree, and I agree with Wendy that, I would get her to the vet ASAP.
yeah. I definitely will. I was planning to take her this afternoon, but she actually snaps back at new people, and so it might be difficult, but I was planning to take her back anyways. But she's been with me since she was like 4 months old, very often, so she's very familiar with me, and she's okay with me actually.
Well, that's good. So Marion has a great suggestion. This is something I've learned in one of my kinesiology classes way back. If you do figure eights, oh, and this is looking so much better. Oh, I think so anyway. I know if we look at this a little bit more closely, there may be other things going on, but at least there's some color coming back into this aura. How much time do we have? I almost want to go back to those stones and run them longer.
Would you want to send these frequencies on Quanta Capsule?
I will, yes.
Okay, thanks.
But anyway, what Marion was saying was to run figure eights with your fingers. And sometimes that can help. Sometimes you could feel a little resistance. You can start away from her body, but you don't have to touch her, but just kind of run figure eights. And a lot of times it helps.
Okay. So in a particular area or just the whole body?
If it hurt her where, maybe by her face, run some figure eights, and in that area on the back where you touched, don't
Okay.
touch it, but just run those figure eights.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
And now we got 62% on that. So I'm really happy with that. Let's just see how this helped. It looks much brighter on my iPad, guys. I know it looks kind of black when I'm looking at it on my laptop. So sometimes, your screens, there's a little bit different perception. So again, it's coming through much brighter on mine. We may want to add some Bach flower essences in here as well.
When in doubt, try neurotransmitters.
I can do that as well. Hopefully we would have gotten, hopefully maybe some of those came through in the general overview, but you're right, that would be a good. We only have a few minutes left here, so. And we'll try to run those neurotransmitters for a minute. Okay, and where are we? Neurotransmitters.
Her bleeding seems to have stopped actually.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, that's good. That's very good.
I'm just trying to think, even maybe some, like a piece of ice or something. You know, if you put it on your hand, maybe she'll want it.
I brought water and she would just kind of, she started to move her paws to remove it, you know, when she doesn't want something, she just kind of. I'll try the ice and see if that works with her.
All right, so that's great. 54% rectification on that. So just going to end here with looking at her aura. And Pam, please stay in touch and let us know how she is doing.
I will, and thank you so much. I'm so very grateful to you and to Dr. Deb and everybody else who's given, you know, put in all the good energy.
Oh, yay. Look at that.
Beautiful, yes.
So that looks terrific. So hopefully that is a good sign. That really makes me happy to be getting that bright, vibrant purple in there. So terrific. All right, well, it's 3 o'clock, right on time. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming and being here. And we look forward to seeing you Tuesday on Dr. Deb's at 1. And also I will be with Dr. Swan at, what time did we say? 11:30 a.m. right before. Hopefully we can get that going today for anybody that tried. On Tuesday, we had some tech issues, so we weren't able to do it, but we will continue with week 2 on Tuesday. And then next week, we will be back here again. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Claire, for helping in the chat room so much, and Dr. Deb and Pam. Please send me an email and let me know.
Yes, I will. And do you want to my email address to send the?
I have you emailed me earlier,
Okay.
so I have your email.
Okay, thank
Is
you.
she asking for a shared
I'm sorry.
report?
You mean for the yes, of course.
Contact
Sorry.
you. It's the same email actually.
But no, let me just give it to me now. Let me just do the highs here.
Okay.
What's the email?
It's should I just put it in the chat or should I just say that? It's pamkapoor922@gmail.com.
922?
Yes, please. @gmail.com.
Okay. So you'll have those to run for her as well.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. Take care.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.